Welcome to the jungle. Back at the bins again. Look at all these young kids, they just jump in right away. All right, we didn't get much footage inside, but we are out and just got done. Here's my stuff, and I paid 88.93 for mine, and ended up getting, what was it, 14 pounds of clothes, or no, where's textiles, where's shoes, 14 pounds of clothes and 9 pounds of shoes, something like that. And Nick got, he got three good bags, four bags of stuff. Yeah. So he 6 pounds shoes. He got some shoes. He got, I don't know, about almost 6 pounds of shoes. So he got textiles. So he got a good amount of stuff here. Nothing too some crazy, electronics and stuff, but for 28 bucks, whatever, not bad. So mine, oh gosh, I got some. These were the heaviest thing. These speakers. These are Infinity speakers. That really did add a lot in weight, and they need to be cleaned up a bit. But got quite a few things. Got some hats. Got like this vintage old hat. Got some just a random stuff. We'll cover it later. And I did get a good amount of clothes, as I mentioned, and I got a good amount of shoes too this time. So I have to go over everything when we get home. It's kind of a mess right now, and we're a bit tired and hungry. So we're gonna head over and grab some lunch, and then we'll tally up everything when we get home. All right, so we're back from the bends yesterday. It was a pretty good trip overall. You know, both of us, my son Nick and I, went. And if you're not, well, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Goodwill bins, it's the Goodwill Outlet. And the Goodwill Outlet is where all the overflow from the retail stores ends up. They put it in these big, giant roll-out bins, and you pay for the items by the pound. And so, you know, it's $1.99 a pound. And for me, I came away with yesterday, I ended up spending $88.93. And I counted up roughly, when I went through everything yesterday, I counted up 56 items that I'll try to sell. There was a couple items that I kept for myself for whatever reason. But this buy cost came to $1.58 per item for me. And now my son, generally in the past, he's always helped me find stuff. And then, you know, once I sell things, I usually give him a percentage of the sale. But he's actually just reselling himself to try to, as a side hustle, making extra money that way. So he bought his own stuff, and then I think he ended up spending $28, and he found a few items that will, well, one item he found for sure, I know, will pay for everything, and then the rest will be profit for him. So, but his situation is a lot different than mine, because I do this part time, you know, keep myself busy, and, you know, just to make a little extra money on the side. He does it where he needs the money and he needs stuff to turn quickly, you know, for his side hustle. And when we're down at the bends looking around, you can see in the video clip earlier, there's a lot of younger crowd there. And, you know, my best assumption is that they do this as a hustle, you know, probably as their full-time income. And that's something that I don't really think would be good fit for me. And that's why I don't do it full time. I don't rely on it as, you know, an income source. You know, I have other things that I deal with on that. But, you know, for the younger crowd that's down there, they look for things that they can find that can flip quickly. You know, they need the money fast. They need to be able to make these quick sales. So if they find some nice vintage pieces or some other good name brands that they know they can, you know, turn around pretty quick, then that's what they're after. At least that's my best assumption. Now, for me, I look for all the things that are that mid-tier stuff. Of course, I look for the higher end stuff, but you know, with the competition that's down there, You know, you just have to kind of get lucky on wherever you're jump in at, on a bin, and maybe you'll just find something really good. And I have in many times in the past, but most of the time as I'm combing through, my mindset is find things that are good, you know, decent quality, you know, decent brands that are, you know, not necessarily what I would seek out in a retail store. I wouldn't buy the stuff just outright, you know, in a retail store, but at the bins when I'm paying $1.99 a pound, then yes, you know, I'm willing to buy those mid-level items in my mind, and then they can sit for a while, but they'll roll. My sales will roll eventually, and that's what happens in my inventory. Is I have enough items in inventory, especially when it comes to clothes, that they, you know, the items will roll. You know, I'll sell them. You know, the item may take a couple months to sell, but as I'm stacking these things, I just get the, you know, the overlap, and it gives it. What it does is, that I've found, is it gives me a consistent cash flow uh, over time, you know, so my weekly, my monthly is consistent. And even if these items are lower tier items in my mind, or in your mind maybe as well, you know, they'll roll through. And that's my idea. It's just a little bit more of a volume game when it comes to the bins. Now, on the electronics and things like that, I didn't hit those as hard as I probably should have, but quite a bit of competition down there too. And I found some things I think will sell. Again, you know, may take a little while. Sometimes things surprise me, and I list them and they sell right away, and that's great. You know, it's awesome. But most of the time, my expectation is that it could take a little while to move this inventory. And again, now for my son and for maybe some of the younger crowd that's down there, they need these items to move quickly. You know, they need the money quickly, and that makes sense. That's their business model. It's not necessarily mine, although when they sell quickly, obviously that's great. But so let's start off, and I'll show you what I found. And again, just understand, this is the Ben's mindset is, you know, mid-level stuff, hopefully decent quality, hopefully stuff that's clean, good quality, you know, no issues, no flaws, hopefully. And then, you know, I put them up and let it roll. So starting off with the clothes, I think I had 20 pieces of clothes that I bought, which came out, I think it was about 17 pounds, or it was like 18 pounds, I believe, on the clothes. And so first up was this Columbia rain jacket, and it's just a lightweight, I can get it open here, lightweight, just rain jacket, raincoat, real, actually in good, really good condition. And coming into the fall weather, I think that should be a decent rollover on that one. Then I found some women's Adriano Goldschmied jeans. These are a very small size, um, but good quality in these jeans. And there's the brand. If you're not familiar, I do pretty well with this brand. This is, again, a small size women's, but generally I do really well with this brand, and more so on the men's side. But, you know, when I'm down at the bands, I take what I can find down there. So next up, I got these, another smaller size, but BKE jeans. These are the BKE Alec, and you know, they're also good. You know, BKE also sells well for me. Um, the smaller women's sizes, you know, they may sit for a bit, which I'll just have to deal with. But overall, I think they'll be okay. And these, you know, most of these items are probably, you know, I'm going to be in that $15 to $30 range on a lot of these items. So, you know, not a lot of huge money, but again, cash flow. That's what I'm looking for in my retirement. My business model is all about cash flow. You know, consistent money coming in. So here is next one up is a Levi's boot cut women's, and good condition on these, dark wash, and they have the little rivets on the back pockets, and boot cut, should be decent, good size, good condition. I got this. I don't normally like to get youth stuff, but I've been finding in the sports stuff that actually the youth stuff's been selling okay for me. So this is just a Kansas City Chiefs youth. and it is NFL branded. I like to get stuff that's at least, branded. I like Nike branded sports stuff the best, but I don't know if you could see that or not. But anyway, you know, that'll still sell eventually too. And then here is what I was just talking about, the Nike branded stuff. This is a Colorado School of Mines Nike full zip, or no, quarter zip, half zip, something like that. Women's smaller size, but a little bit more of a niche market because that school is a smaller school here. But I think it'll still sell. And then this hoodie, it's pretty cool. This is the Monster branded, and it's the Muscle Monster logo on there. Unfortunately, there's nothing on the back. It's just solid on the back, but it is branded Monster. And if you find, what I found, anything Monster seems to sell really well for me. So I was happy to find this one because that could be, a $30 hoodie, $40 hoodie, something like that, possibly. We'll see what I can get for it. Then next up, I got another Nike quarter zip pullover. Nothing special, but Nike stuff I like. It always sells for me. And again, not high dollar, but this is the Nike Golf Tour Performance, so that's probably a little bit better. But it looks like, actually, I just noticed that the zipper is messed up on this one. So I'm going to have to see if I can fix that. And if I can't, then that's probably a bust. So unfortunately, I didn't notice that before till now. So that's kind of a bummer. But, it is what it is. That's the thing about this. Once you go through, I put these under the lights where I go to take my photos, and all of a sudden I see stains or I find a hole or something, and that's just part of it. It's hard to see down there. There was a lot of people. It's kind of hard to really look things over real carefully. I did the best I could when I'm down there, but anyway, this is a Ohio State Buckeyes hoodie and embroidered older tag on the jerseys tag, 3XL. So perfect time, college stuff, pro football stuff, all that's getting ready to start, and has been going a little bit. So perfect time. If you have any sports stuff, football, get it listed now. Everybody's kind of like crazy over the NFL right now and college ball. So get it listed if you can. Next, I have a Nike hoodie, just a basic Nike hoodie. These have sold for me time and time again. Probably, again, $20 maybe, something like that. Then I got these. These are Saucony or Saucony. I'm not sure how you say that. It's a running brand, and just sweat joggers with the zip ankles on them. Nothing special, but probably will sell. I really haven't sold much of that brand unless I sell the shoes quite often. I'll sell the shoes, but clothes I'm not sure. So we'll see how that does. Next, I got these Figs, just some scrubs, women's scrubs. Figs used to do, I don't even know if you could see that. Figs used to do really well for me when I'd find them, but I haven't actually sold them in quite a while. So I guess I'll find out. Then I got this little youth, again, football season, Denver Broncos, Sanders jersey, older player, but well-known and popular. And so youth, we'll see how that does. Got this REI co-op base layer, long sleeve. Good time for this kind of stuff too in the fall. I thought it was wool, but apparently it's not when I was looking at it. But REI stuff's okay. Get a little bit out of it. Got some more jeans. These are women's Levi's ribcage straight. They're a button fly, and they're distressed. Good condition, clean. Levi's. If I can get the Levi's at the bands, I mean, $1.99 a pound. You're looking at a 2-pound rate, so $4. You know, Levi's for $4 generally are always a pretty safe bet. I mean, you know, some models you may only get, you know, $15 for, but some models you can get up quite a bit much more, especially if they're vintage. Next, I got these men's, good big size actually, these Lucky brand men's, um, just basic straight leg jeans. And Lucky also is one of those brands that sells for me consistently for a good amount. And you can see why this stuff ends up at the bins. This was marked as $10.99. You know, a lot of people just aren't going to pay at Goodwill retail stores that kind of money, and I wouldn't for this, for these pants. But um, anyway, getting them by the pound, you know, so I'm paying about $4 for those, and I'll probably be able to get potentially in the mid 20s for those. All right, then I found a good brand. Now this one's going to need a little bit of work. There's going to need some washing, but this brand's Stio, and Stio, if you can find it, is normally a really good brand. Now, these are shorts. They do have, like I said, I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleaning. There's a couple marks on here that I'm really hoping I can get out on the leg there. And I thought there was one on the back, maybe just a small one on the back side. Um, but I thought, you know, I'm going to take a chance on these because Stio is a solid brand, and I know we're getting, you know, the seasons are turning right now, but these type of performance shorts like these, like hiking shorts, they can do well still. So if I can get this thing clean, then, you know, that could be a decent seller. This is another Nike, just a women's small running, Nike running, quarter zip. Nothing really special here, but Nike branded. And then this is Eddie Bauer, like a performance short sleeve, vented fishing type of shirt. Really nice condition. Got the zip pocket on it, and decent, should be all right on that. Then a pair of socks. I don't know about this brand, but it's D-Feet. I think it's how you say that. And brand new. Anything new, you know, I'm willing to at least take a look at. And looking at comps on these, they seem to be pretty well. I think it could be a slower sale, but some decent prices on this particular brand. So I'll give it a try. All right, that's it for the clothes on that part. Let's take a look at what I got. I picked up a few hats, which I like to find hats down there because they don't weigh anything, and usually I can turn a decent profit on them. This first hat is a Milwaukee Brewers, and it's the spring training is what I saw, because it has like an Arizona, uh, the Arizona logo on there, and could be pretty unique. It's a flex fit hat. I like more of the adjustable hats, but it's in good shape, so I'll try that one out. Then I got this trucker's hat, this Milwaukee, just a, you know, adjustable mesh hat. I got these older, I'm gonna have to do a little research on these, but these vintage older um, corduroy. This is the Arizona Sun Devils, Arizona State Sun Devils, and pretty cool with the corduroy. I don't know if you can all see that, but pretty neat hat. And then another one, and this is definitely an older logo, NBC Sports corduroy. It does have the foam, and the foam is, you know, getting ready to start deteriorating. So I'm going to have to be careful when I clean this. It's already kind of starting to kind of brush off a little bit, but maybe I'll be, you know, lucky and find someone that even if just wants to use it as a display or whatever. Pretty cool hat. All right, and then I did get some shoes. So for the shoes, first off, I got these Cole Haan Grand Zero, like the wingtip shoes, and good condition. You know, not much wear on them. I look for shoes that are really clean. I don't like to clean them. You know, look for shoes that are cleaned with, you know, very little sole wear, and then just good condition overall is what I target anyway. Next up, I got these these uh, Vibram soled, these 5-toe, or what do they call them, 5-finger, 5-toe, I don't know, but they're I've sold these many times before, and they seem to always do well for me. And I find that these can get generally around 30 to, $30 to $40, 30, 45, something maybe at the high end. But depending on the model, these could probably be, I'm pretty sure I'll get 30 out of those. Then I got some more, I found some more youth shoes, and these are Birkenstocks. They just need a little bit of cleaning, but little Birkenstock, just youth sandals. So I thought I'd go ahead. They don't weigh hardly anything. Same thing with the Crocs. I got some more youth Crocs, and I sell these Crocs all the time. Just consistently sell them all the time. And these are actually in really good condition. You can see again, not much wear. This is the thing about Crocs. I always look at the soles, and if they're not worn like that, I can just give them a light cleanup. Probably get 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks for them. Next, I got some Keens, and these are, I think these are women's. I don't know. I'll have to look a little closer at the model, but excuse me. But these Keens are always pretty good for me, and these are in good condition. You can see again, not much heel wear on those or sole wear on those, and they're usually pretty easy to clean and stuff like that. Next up, let me grab. Let's see, I got these Merrell. See, these are Merrell waterproof women's boots, ankle boots, and again, I look for that. The wear. They just need a little bit of cleaning, but not much wear on those, and overall good condition. So those should be pretty good. And then last, I got these Doc Marten boots, which surprised to find these. They came out, and they just need a little. They need a little bit of light cleaning and polishing up on the leather, but you can see again, good condition on the soles and nice leather condition. Again, just a little bit of wipe down and use some conditioner on that leather. And these are a good size, men's like 10.5 or something like that. Should do pretty well for these. All right. Grab the electronics. Actually, not really electronics. They are just hard goods in general. And grab a drink of coffee real quick. All right. So first up, got a couple of these Dymo, brand new sealed Dymo refills. Not a lot of money here, but lightweight, probably 10 bucks, something like that. Got this TheraFirm compression socks, new, sealed in there. I saw some comps, probably around $15 to $18. Then I found several different Brita water filters, still sealed, and I'll just probably lock these up. These always sell, especially the Brita branded ones. People want the Brita. You can get the aftermarket ones on Amazon and all that, but people like the Brita ones. And these are, I got 4 of these filters sealed. So like again, I'll bundle those and see what I can get for them. A lot of random stuff, so bear with me here. Titleist, a golf head cover. I did not look this up in the store. I probably should have, but normally these golf head covers with the branded, with a decent brand, can get 10 to anywhere from like $8 to $15 usually. I've got this Beats case, just a soft shell, or I guess it's a hard shell, soft lining Beats headphones case. I've sold many of those in the past. They don't get a lot, but just pretty easy to flip those around. Then I got this sunglass case for TYR. I don't know if that's tier or TYR. Sunglass cases, I usually will sell them outright, or if I find glasses that match the case, I'll, put them together and get a little extra for it. Let's see. Got this Olympus charger, like a camera battery charger. The OEM chargers, that they do a lot better than if you sell these on eBay rather than the aftermarket ones you can buy on Amazon. So people a lot of times want the OEM branded ones. So I find that the chargers, I usually can get a little bit of money for them. This was a decent find. This is a Yeti insulated cooler, can cooler thing, and again, really nice shape. It's not beat up or scratched up or anything. That could be $20 probably. I got several different remotes. I like to sell remotes, and they always tend to move for me. This is a Lasco, which should be, I'll have to look it up, but I think it's a some sort of fan, or an air conditioning unit. And then this one is a Eden. I can't remember what this. I looked it up, but it's a Gen 3 Eden, some sort of remote, and I can't remember exactly what this for, but it had a little bit of value, so I thought I'd go ahead and try it out. Some real random small stuff, but I got this another Amazon Fire Stick. These always sell for me and can get around $20 or so, it seems. This Master Lock, brand new Master Lock. I don't know why I grabbed it. It's sealed. That's the only reason. They do have value, but it's going to take a while to sell. I'll probably have to undercut everybody else and just try to get it gone. And then some other random things. I got this Denver Nuggets lanyard, not worth a lot, but it is new with tags. And so, I like the Nuggets. I might even keep it, or I don't know. I'll try to sell it. It's not worth much. And then just some random things. I got this Craftsman half-inch wrench, which I'll probably lot this up with some other Craftsman wrenches and see what I can get. And then this Anchor car charger plug for the 12-volt. I don't know what that's worth, but just threw it in the bag. And then I've got a Samsung cord, which I like to get the cords because if I find the speakers, subwoofers, and things that is Samsung branded, I'll put them together. So a lot of times I just grab the cords and throw them in the bag. And then last, I got this this pair of Infinity speakers, and I need to look up this model. When I was in the store, I looked them up, and they look as though they're worth, about $50. And I always do well with Infinity, so they're plastic. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to clean them up. They got some tape on them and stuff, so it's gonna take a little bit of elbow grease on these, but I'll test them. Hopefully they work fine, and then if I can get $50 for them. They do weigh a little bit. I'll have to make sure I account for shipping when I sell them. But everything I sell, I tack on the shipping, so the buyer pays the shipping. And I do a lot of flat rates. I do some calculated on heavier things, but most often I never have trouble covering the shipping costs. I usually make a little bit of money on the shipping on most items. Anyway, that's what I found. That's what I've got today. So again, this stuff here you have to understand is, the Ben's mindset. And, for me, is there's a lot of random stuff. You can kind of just take what you can find at the Ben's that's decent. And unfortunately, like with the competition, I saw some pretty good things in the Ben's and I couldn't get to them quick enough. You have to just be in the right spot to be able to grab and go. So it's kind of the luck of the draw a lot of times at the Ben's. But if I can come away with 50 items, 50 some items for that kind of buy cost, where it was $1.50 and change, per item, then, you know, I can sell, you know, a shirt like this REI shirt. I can sell this for, you know, $12, you know, and still make a decent profit margin on it. So that's why I do the bins. I get a good amount of inventory, and, you know, for a good price, and I can have a margin. I like this as well as like garage sales and stuff like that, where I can have that margin. So that's why I do the bins. And but it is a long day when we go down there. Even if we're there for 3 or 4 hours, it's a bit tiring digging in the bins, leaning. You have to lean over and drag through all the clothes, lean over and grab stuff, and you're on your feet a lot, and it's a lot of a hustle. As the rotations come out, you got to get in quickly. You know, it's just it is quite a bit of a, for us anyway, it is quite a bit of work. But you know, if I can spend 3 or 4 hours down there and get, you know, 50 items to try to resell, then it's worth it. And you know, I try to make the best of it, and especially if I have my son with me, then it makes up for a fun day. So anyway, without the rambling anymore, thanks for joining me, and I hope that you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.